For this project, I decided to do the defensive play in the classroom option, and for this project, I focused on three main areas that play is good for the children, which includes learning and creativity, social and emotional development, and socio-dramatic play. And on the memo, I focused on these three topics and explained them to my principal, and then I was hoping to discuss them further in a school board meeting, as the paper said. Um, Playtime is important for children, obviously, it's part of their learning. It's how they learn peer interaction, talking to other children. It's how they learn to understand each other. And I work in an after school program, and I see this every day that, these kids have been in school all day long, and then they come to after school, and they're expected to sit there for an hour and sit in silence and do their homework, and it really just doesn't work. Because they need playtime to burn off that energy that they sit there all day, and they need a break just as adults do. We can't sit all day and work. We all need a break. So first off, play is important for children in the learning and creativity part because it engages them to use their thought processes, um, like an outdoor play on swing sets, monkey bars. Children are learning to use their gross motor skills, and in the classroom with coloring and gluing and cutting, that enhances their fine motor skills. And those are activities that are very important for pre-K students to learn. With the emotional and social development part, when children interact with each other, they learn about emotions, what they mean, what the other children mean, how to control their emotions if they get angry. They also learn to mask their emotions. Children's ability to experience, express, understand, and regulate emotions determines their success in social interactions. If there's a child who can't control his anger or cries at the drop of the pen, other kids aren't very accepting of those children, and they don't want to play with them. Children's exposure to recess, especially active play, increases their self-regulation, which in turn leads to better math and reading achievement. And that's very important in schools. I don't see why the principal wouldn't want the children to play, if it enhances their math and reading skills. Spending time in outdoor play has also been found to increase attention for the general population, as well as children with ADHD. So when children get this playtime, it increases their attention. That break allows them to come back and focus on their schoolwork. And through this peer interaction, the children learn how to act emotionally and socially. And that's basically the gist of emotional and social development. The third thing I discussed in my memo was socio-dramatic play, which is also pretend play. In this type of play, children take on the roles of others and relate them to themselves. It's a world of pretend, but it is also based on reality. When children go to the grocery store with their parents, they might come home and pretend they have their own grocery store. They see what happens at the grocery store, and then they act that out on their own at home, so really they're learning about these experiences they have out in the real world. When children play house, they pick roles such as mother, father, and the siblings and pets. They're learning about families and how they interact with each other. In this pretend play, the children also use their emotions, which, like I said, it helps them learn about emotions and to regulate them. They also use their imagination and creativity to create these situations, and they use fantasy and symbolism. This type of play requires the child to reflect before acting, sense the perspective of others, and understand emotions. It improves abilities to cooperate, to participate in social activities, and to understand others. When children play with their peers, they practice sharing, turn-taking, self-restraint, group work, and how to get along with others. This pretend play, it allows them to process their emotions, understand emotions, problem solve, cope, and adjust, which are all things children need to learn while they're in school. School isn't all about book work and academic success. School is also about the social interaction, learning how to interact with people, to communicate, and play is a big part of that. Like I said, just like adults, children need a break too, and we cannot expect their best work from students if they are required to sit silently in their seat all day long. That is mainly what I discussed in my memo. I also believe it is our job as educators to facilitate the educational, social, and emotional success of each child in our school system. And if we are not providing them with adequate playtime to enhance their learning, I feel that we are not performing our jobs properly. And by playtime, I do not mean for the students to watch a television show or play games on the iPad as the teacher walks on. I mean, get your hands dirty kind of play where they're learning, interacting, communicating. And I think the teachers should play an active part in this play by providing the materials and occasionally instructing them. But I believe children learn more when they play on their own and the teacher isn't telling them what to do. I really enjoyed this project and I really enjoyed this class and all we learned in it. And I hope everyone has a great next semester.